talk a little bit about what are the major components of a Bernstein unit. When you have a Bernstein unit, you always have what's called a significant question. But this question is the big overarching question that we're going to keep in the backs of our minds, and also Mr. Maddox and I are going to continue to ask you throughout this unit.
This question right now is being asked of you in art and in shop. But your math teacher could ask you the same question, and you would be able to answer it. Your social studies teacher, your language arts teacher, your science teacher. That question could be asked in any curriculum. But we're specifically going to be focusing in on junk sculpture and what we're doing in the art in the shop.
But when you put those things together, those small things together, they become more than just a collection of junk. They actually become much larger because they become art. What is art, right? That's going to be one of the key topics in this unit because we're working with junk or found objects.
Hello, we are here in shop/art because we joined together at Jackson, and we are doing our Bernstein project, which is a junk sculpture, and that's taking all different types of junk, just random ordinary household objects, and putting them together to make something entirely different, like a whole sculpture out of like insignificant small things. And how we started was our teacher handed out this paper and we filled it out. It was to organize our thoughts and to like think about what our junk sculpture was going to be before we actually did it. I made a lily pad, and I'm going to have a little flower with a string. When you pull it, it will bloom. So after I did this sheet, I went and looked at all the different pieces and thought of how they could come together to make the flower, the lily pad. And I created this, which is not entirely done yet, but what happens is when you push up on the string, it blooms. And then when I'm done, when I finish, I'll spray paint this part gold to make it look a little bit more like a flower. But as you can see, I've put together lots of junk. I have like clips and CDs, and we were not allowed to use glue, tape, or rubber bands, so we had to wire everything, which was a challenge, but yeah. So this was our Bernstein project.
Oh, that's cool. What does it choose? What do you mean by that?
So this is my turtle. It's pretty simple. And the head just goes up and down like that.
Very nice.
So you unhook this and water comes down and the tennis balls float up, making it look like the flowers do.
And so
So mine is supposed to be a bird that feeds its baby by like pulling this and then its mouth opens.
I did a cat.
I made a card, and it's an abstract card, and the moving part are like the little windshield wipers.
I made a caterpillar, and when you pull the wire, the flower spins, and then the head hits.
and you should show how this turns. So you've got
It did work.
Oh, it kind of got shifted.
try it again and see what happens. Maybe there, that's better. You don't put it all the way at the top.
And then
Speed away.
this is my moving part, and it lifts the marble up when you twist this, and then you can hold the marble there.
So this is my firefly that sort of lights up. You can't really see it though, it's the paint. And the legs are my moving part.
A giraffe, and my moving part was originally going to be my legs moving so it could walk, but I didn't have enough time for that, but my legs can still kind of move a bit.
So I did a turtle also, but I have several moving parts, and my tail moves, and these spoons are also movable too. So mine's not exactly done and not very exciting, but it's a clock, and the moving parts are the pocket watches on it.
One of them moves, one of them doesn't.
Yeah.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Maya.
I'm Mr. Parrott. Nice to meet you. Maya, can you tell me about your art here?
Well, we're making junk sculptures and combined with the third period art and shop. And we have a significant question of this is how do you take like seemingly insignificant objects or junk and put them together to make something different, like significant?
That's wonderful. Does this have a name? Have you named yours?
No, we never really did name ours, but yeah.
And why do you feel yours is significant? How is this greater than junk?
Because I feel like how it symbolizes like the flower with the dragonfly. It's like more than like some CDs and clips and spray paint. It's
Right.
when you put them together, you can make something.
Right, and you're also seeing the interaction between the biology and the plants and the animals acting together. Very good. So what was the pieces that made your art? What are the things that might seem insignificant? What's the junk?
Well, we weren't allowed to use tape or glue, only wire. And I used CDs and clips, just like office clips. Lots of wire because that's what holds it all together. Some fabric pieces, nail, and cardboard down here.
So people were going to throw this away, or it was already thrown away,
Yeah.
and now you've turned it into art. Okay, from things that a lot of people might think are insignificant.
Yes.
Very good. Could a water droplet on the ground be insignificant?
Yes, it would be insignificant.
Okay. What about some oxygen floating here in the air? Could that be insignificant?
Yeah, but it depends how much.
How much you have, that's right. What about a little bit of iron in a speck of dust on the ground? Could that be insignificant?
Yes, that's kind of.
Depends on how much you have, though. Or a little bit of calcium in a shell. Right, so do you have any idea if we take all those materials that seem insignificant and we put them all together, do you have any idea what they could make?
I'm not sure. You'd have to.
Yeah.
You'd have to really piece them together.
Piece them together. So you are made of 70% water.
Uh-huh.
Flowing in your veins are iron that's in your blood, and calcium is in your bones. So you take all of those seemingly insignificant raw materials, you put them together, and they make the beauty of you. Thank you for teaching me about your project.
Yep, thank you for listening.
Yep, have a good day.